Well, we got a bombardier and a navigator, pilot, co-pilot, and an engineer, and Top Gun, and two scanners.
So a pretty good-sized crew.
Yes.
All of you, at some point, had to start saying, what the heck did we carry over here, right?
Yeah, we were surprised, too, because we did a lot of top-secret stuff. We'd go to different bases, landed at an airfield, didn't know what we was carrying, and unload it, and then we'd fly back to another base, then we'd fly back to that base, and then back to Roswell. And this really stumped us, because we were so shocked, because we were top secret and everything else. They didn't let us nothing know on it what was in that box. They wouldn't tell us.
Here we are now, Arthur, almost, 63 years later?
That's about 63. We'll be 60 what?
What do you think was in that crate?
Well, I have an open mind. I feel there's something that was pretty top secret, but this has been so long. Why don't they let this information out? I heard there's, I guess everybody's heard there was at Wright-Patterson. They were supposed to take the bodies up there from Fort Worth. Right. And put them in a deep freeze up there somewhere. Yeah,
I thought maybe you folks flew on to Wright-Patterson. You didn't. So
no, we didn't.
So you went back. Had this been a weather balloon, Arthur, would they have done this to you guys? Would they have kept it that secret from the crew?
Well, I'll tell you what I thought, because this is my own opinion. When they mentioned the weather balloon, they said there was no such thing as flying saucer in the bodies, but we knew there was some secret in that box. And I thought they might have used not mannequins. I thought they might have, for high-altitude bailouts. Yeah. They had the B-36. I thought they might even use cadavers for experiments, but I imagine they used cadavers or mannequins on there for secret for bailout. We thought of that.
I had heard rumors that they might have had, the war was over, but they might have had Japanese POWs, short POWs, and that they experimented with them. Something went wrong, and they had to cover it up. Did anybody ever talk about that at all out there at that time?
No, I never heard of that. But I thought when they said weather balloon and they said high altitude, I heard the rumors they was experimenting with high altitude balloons for B-36s to bail out. And then we heard they had a weather balloon to check for radiation for when Russia was going to top that atomic bomb. Yeah. We thought that might be, and then, because there was so many rumors flying.
Arthur, what would you have done had you gone back there and they opened up the crate and you would have seen 3 alien bodies there from another planet?
They would have shocked me pretty good. But I remember at the time when this all happened, there was a rancher at that time was rumored that he'd seen some craft crash. They said there was bodies underneath it. Then they shut him up after a couple of weeks.
At any point afterward, after you and your crew came back, did any more stories start filtering out what this could have been or what was going on out there?
No, they explicitly told us, don't ever say anything, not even to our wives. They really did. And then they kind of put the brainwash, and they kind of brainwashed. I never did tell my wife anything about our wife on until Tom was writing the book, and he called up here, I can't remember, 5 or 6 years ago. And then it came on the air, and then one of my sons seen it on the History Channel. Yeah. And that's the only time he ever opened up on it. I was surprised.
Now,
that's how long I kept secret about it.
Here you are now, in this point in your life. Do you believe that this planet was visited, maybe at least in 1947, from a craft from a different world, crashed, and we recovered it, and we recovered their bodies? Do you think that happened?
Well, I'd give almost 80% on that something did happen. And even you go to the historic time of the Mayas and in South America, how that stone was cut by precision instruments. No man could have cut it that much without surgical instruments to cut that rock.
It would not have surprised you, though, if they had said, Arthur, we have some alien bodies from a spaceship. You would have probably said, I figured that.
I would go along pretty good at that. It would complete my 100% belief in it.
Arthur, if you guys had flown out the bodies, possibly, What do you think might have happened to the crash craft? Where did that go?
This was surprised me because they had to have maintenance crew, pick up the debris and everything. And of course, we heard it was in the hangar, some of the debris, but we never heard anything from the ground personnel, about picking up that aircraft. But on the base, on the news media and stuff like this, they said they found a piece of metal that had glyphics on it.
Yes.
All that stuff.
Did you know anybody personally that might have picked up some pieces or anything like that?
No, I haven't. But I heard where someone I heard rumors that someone did pick up some pieces on that metal. They said you could bend it and come back out and
right.
That was hard for me.
Absolutely.
I'm from Missouri. I'm not from Missouri, but the only Missouri you say, I believe only you can see it.
That's what they say in Missouri. No doubt about that. Did you live out that way, or you were just stationed there for a little bit?
I was stationed there for about 7 years.
7 years. Okay. And even later on, even though you guys didn't talk about this, did you hear rumors whenever you guys went out or you go into town, did people talk about this?
No, not at that time. It was a well-kept secret.
It sure was. Sounds that way.
Yes, it was. As a matter of fact, I even thought you could get it out of my mind until they came up here for 5, 6 years to Tom, and I believe who was the other one?
And Don,
I guess,
yep.
All about making that book.
Yeah. Now, the fact that government kept this a secret, how do you feel about that? That they just held back, they didn't tell you folks, they didn't tell you.
This is what always boggled my mind. Why don't they say something about it? Remember about the flying saucer, about the Blue Book. I'd like to add something else here. Just about 3 months ago, Italy called from Italy, and he's an author writing a book on if there's other people in outer space, and he's writing a book about it. So they believe strongly that there's people in outer space. They believe in something like flying saucers. He asked me what I knew about it.
Was he calling from the Vatican or just from a writer from Italy?
Matter of fact, he was calling from Italy. He was an interpreter for the guy that was writing this book.
Ah, okay.
And you notice also that even the Pope is trying to find out there's people in outer space.
I think so, too. He may already know, Arthur. He may already know.
And you notice here about a week ago on the news they saw an unidentified object flying in the sky, was on TV.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So there must be something going on.
Every time you see stories like this now of UFOs and things like that, do you sit back and go, I know it's true?
I know there's something has to be. It has to be.
Well, the fact that you and your crew may have flown out 3 extraterrestrial bodies has got to be just, that's what I call the wow factor. You got to sit back and go, we probably really did that.
I know what I do. Like he said, the navigate. I don't know if it was a bombardier, one of them on the crew said we made history. So they must knew something more about it or not. That's
something. Arthur, how old are you now?
I'm 86.
All right, sir. My father just turned 87 2 days ago.
Well, congratulations.
And thanks for serving. Continued health to you, okay?
I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Arthur.
And thank you.
All right. That's Tom and Don. That's quite a story. It's quite the story from quite an individual.
And it was a story that we've heard since 1990 from another crew member on that very flight, and then a subsequent individual, and Felix Martucci, who was the bombardier who had recognized the mortician. When we found him, he wanted no part of us. He would slam the phone down. He would yell no. We even went to his apartment down in San Antonio and basically staked it out. We tried to catch him even there.
Let's talk about that nurse story that you two were telling us about before Arthur came in, who's quite a remarkable individual. I'm George Norrie. More of this incredible story. Witness to Roswell, unmasking the government's biggest cover-up. That's next on Coast to Coast AM.